So, a very warm good afternoon and welcome to all of you. I don't know have any topics today. Let me see if I can find any good novels first of all, and then we talk. उसके बाद हम लोग बात करेंगे क्योंकि हम चाहते हैं कि कुछ बिकॉज हम चाहते हैं कि हम एक अच्छी नोवेल पढ़ें ताकि तो हमारे पास एक नोवेल है जिसका नाम है क्लास 10th 3.9 के इसमें रीडर्स हैं 170 वोटर्स हैं पार्ट्स 6 हैं इसके टाइमिंग 37 मिनट्स मतलब 37 मिनट्स इसके 6 टेबल ऑफ कंटेंट्स है मीन्स 6 चैप्टर्स हैं देखते हैं और ये कंप्लीट है एच बी तो हमें रीडिंग करने स्टार्ट करते हैं देखते हैं इसके अंदर क्या है इन द chapter 1 and the name of the chapter 1 is in the midst of it all. Rasmi, the teacher called out while taking attendance. Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am. Yes, I mean present, ma'am. Rasmi said while raising her hand high up. Like, yes, ma'am. Like this, okay? Rasmi Sharma was sitting on the second row, wearing her new uniform, which she bought with her father a few days ago. He told her old uniform was worn out now, so her partners suggested getting a new one. Her hair was oiled and neatly combed into two bites, braids, braids, into two braids. She had put some lip balm which her cousin gave, and her ears were occupied by some small gold and diamond earrings. She had gotten them by her uncle who had visited over the summer. Abhi, the teacher called out the next name. Yeah, ma'am, came out Abhi deep voice. Abhi Gupta was sitting in the second row next right next to a window which has him occupied. He was a sucker of sensory. It was his dream to travel around the world and look at the earth ever since his dad had taken him out on a bike ride when he was around 5. He had been absorbed with the beauty of Cincrus even since Cinereus ever since. His black soft hair was neatly combed, and his mom had nagged him all morning. He was wearing a raksha thread like this one, sask thread, which his partner had got from their last visit to a temple. The morning attendance went by just like that. Each student looked their absolutely best on the first day. Nita, an ironed uniform, ironed on uniform, and combed hair were their norm. Okay, students, take out your notebook and textbooks, and we will get started with the introduction of the subject. The ma'am said, holding the grade 10th science textbook in one hand and chucking in a chalk in the other hand. Please open your textbook to page number 3. She instructed right away. There was the second of everyone jeeping their backpack open, taking their stationery out and opening the book to the desired page. Some kids were even giggling looking at the pictures in the book. Science. The teacher's voice roared through the classroom. Silence. Everyone fell silent in a second. Mouth jipped. Maybe it was the ear of teachers yelling at them or their mouths screaming on top of their lungs. Either way, they were disciplined. Rasmi took out her new stationery from her brand new pencil case. She had bought them when she had gone stairs shopping with her cousin. They spent hours visiting the shop and checking out each time very intentionally. At the end, they both went to a Golgappa street stall and stuffed their mouths with it. That was one of the best days of her summer holiday. She looked at her orange highlighter and smiled resignedly. Those memories. As the teacher went on a talk, the student highlighted their textbook and took notes when necessary. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Abhay was having a hard time focusing. It wasn't that he was bad or anything. It he just that he never found science interesting. He duly outlined the important texts with his pencil and scribbled down some notes. Just like that, half the school day had passed and it was finally lunch time, the student favorite time of school. Everyone took their lunchbox out and made their way out of the classroom. Some ate it, some sat in the hallways sharing their lunch with their friends while feeling each other about their summer holiday and about their first day of school. While some went to play something with their friends on the ground and some just went missing around the bathrooms. Messing. Rasmi was walking around to see if her friend Mira was there where they had promised to meet at their favorite spot. It was located behind the school where they could see a beautiful view. I think she already there. I should go. Rasmi said to herself, walking towards the spot they had decided. She hurriedly made her way towards the bench. Someone was already there. Wait, Mira, where is Mira? Rasmi said, looking around and staring at the two boys who were sitting there instead of her friend. They both looked at her in union. She recognized the face of one of the two. It was a classmate who she happened to notice for a second while turning to her backpack earlier. Oh, Abhay! She called out him. As soon as she called him, he was snatched away from his thoughts and instead started at there like she was some beautiful code in a clear sky. That went mm, on for a bit until his friend literally light, lightly shook him to bring him back. Huh, oh, hi, he said, looking like an airhead. Dude, you okay? Abhay's friend Aditya asked. Yeah, I'm fine, Abhay whispered, looking down in the embarrassment. Aditya noticed Rasmi being really confused, so he proceeded to ask what happened. Oh, my friend, she said she'd been met here to me, but I didn't know where she is. Rasmi responded. Hmm. We certainly haven't noticed any girl passing by here, so I am afraid we can't be of help. Aditi said, making an apologetic face. Hmm, it's okay. Thank you for consideration. Considering it, though. Rasmi responded. She was about to turn away when Abhay called out. Hey, if you want, you can eat with us. If you want. I mean, unless you don't have anyone to eat with, you know, he said shyly, putting a hand on his head and bending down more. Hmm. Okay. That why I can wait for my friend, I guess, she replied. The three spent their lunch talking about random stuff. Well, it was mostly Abhay and Aditi talk, while Rasmi gave her inputs here and there and mostly looked out for her friend. She finally came to a conclusion. Her friend was either away today or she detested her. If it was the latter, she would not forgive her friend and probably be sad for a long time. The first day of school had come and gone in an incident like that. Many of them were excited to return to school and see their friends. Others were bummed to know that they were not in a same school as their friends. Some made new friends. Some were new to the school and some knew it like the back of their hand. In the midst of it all, there was a boy who had developed a minor silly crush on a girl in class 10C, sitting in the second row. Continue to the next part. The name of the second chapter is The Thought That Matters. Chapter 2. Rashmi was focusing on the board and taking her notes, while Abhi was making weird sounds to gain her attention. She turned back to look at him and he gave her a cute apologetic face. What the heck? Abhi, she whispered to him. एक पेन देना, he whispered back to her. She gave him a weird look. Give me a pen. Why? Did you forget yours? She whispered back, trying to make sure the teacher didn't hear them. He gave her a "Are you serious?" wala look. She looked her hand. She shook her head and gave him the first pen which came to her hand. It was a plastic blue colored pen that had glycerins, glycerin glycerin on the top. Not to mention, it was one of her favorite pen. She didn't think much of it, just gave it to him so she could focus in class. Heh, thanks. I smiled and started to caliber, scribble down some notes. A random doodle same time to him anyway. आदि अब तुम चुप नहीं होगे ना, तो I'll make sure you never get to touch that tiffin of yours. Abhi screamed like a girl chasing his friend. Adi, if you don't shut up now, I'll make sure you never get to touch the tiffin of yours. Abhi and Rasmi sitting on a tree before his friend Aditya could finish it. Abhay started chasing him around. Aditya knew that Abhay would always target his precious tiffin, so as soon as he sensed warned him, he grabbed his lunch box and started running away. Just when Abhay was about to catch Aditya, he backed off and Rasmi came in the way. Abhay crashed into Rasmi, causing them both to fall down. Oof! Aditya squealed like a little girl. Ouch! पगला हो क्या? पागल हो क्या? Rasmi yelled, rubbing her back while Abhay lent her a hand to get up. Are you mad? Oh, hey, how dare you make my friend fall, huh? Came out Rasmi's friend, Mira's voice. The two boys started at her like she was a dishonest. Sorry, Abhay said, getting up and looking embarrassed. Mira just shook head. Shook. Shook. Mira just shook head. Like she is too mature to be around this. Ujjwal. What's the name of the book? बुक का तो नाम नहीं मालूम भैया, लेकिन इसका जो हम नोवेल पढ़ रहे हैं उसका नाम है क्लास 10th बाय अनियालिका, AYANALIC, नालिका करके कुछ है. Mira wasn't there during the first few days of the school because apparently she had fallen sick. So Rasmiya was forced to sit with Abhay and Aditya. Well, not really, but she did way anyway. Once Mira was back, they four started spending their lunch together since they all liked that spot. Mira then stomped her feet and made her way to sit down at the bench. She ripped open her tiffin, light on level 4 eggs, paths neatly rolled up. OMG, are those pastas? Squealed Aditya. No, it's your face. Mira intentionally face palmed. Of course it is. What else does it look like? मुझे भी दे दो ना, please. Aditya begged, getting on one knee and reaching out his hand towards Mira. He was such a foodie. Inside, Mira found that adorable and always shared her food with him. Allows and with him. Rasmi knew that why else would her friend bring four heavy paratha to school? Does she want to burp in class every second? Give it to me, please. Rolling her eyes, Mira handed over two parathas, and Aditya smiled widely, like his mom just bought him the last comic book right off. Sorry for the disturbance, guys. Sorry for the disturbance because our internet was disturbed. So I'm very regret for that particular. Now continuing to our main story. Okay. So he was थोड़ा कम खाया कर. Okay. Rolling her eyes made hundreds of two parathas and Aditya smiled widely like his mom. Okay. Rasmi made her way to sit beside Mira, who was enjoying her paratha. Aditya, on the other hand, was munching down two parathas and pasta. Thoda kam khaya kar, Abhay said, slapping his friend on the back of his neck and taking a seat beside Rasmi, his hand in his pant pockets. Aditya made a weird face at him. It returned. You should eat less. Oi, Abhi, remember to give my pen back, okay? Rasmi said, suddenly remembering her favorite pen. हाँ जी मैम, आपका पेन देना कैसे भूल सकते हैं हम? Abhi laughed, holding on to her pen in his pocket. Of course, how can I forget to give your pen? Lunch and quickly passed quickly, and everyone made their way back to their respective classes. There were a few more classes to be of writings and readings left for the students. Towards the end of day, everyone got lazy and just wanted school to be over so they could take a nap at home. Abhay was already taking one, and Rasmi kept staring back at him. For obvious reasons, she may or may not have starting liking him. Just a little bit smaller than an and crush. Yes, definitely. Rasmi was making her way out of school, but unexpectedly she felt a tap on her shoulder. I think you forget something, Abhay said. Rasmi looked at him in confusion. Abhay pulled out the pen she gave him earlier. You forget about this. Gush. I'll keep it, Abhay suggested. Guess I'll keep it, Abhay surged. Give it back, unless you want me to tell Preeti, ma'am, that you were sleeping in her class. Rasmi casually said and walked ahead of Abhay. Ugh, you are such a party pooper. Huh. Here is your pen, Abhay expressed with a pout on his face. Like that. In his face. Where is his face? Giving back the pen. Also give me the notes tomorrow, okay? Abhi said, realizing that he could take the notes. Okay, Rasmi replied. They both started at each other while Rasmi realized that she quickly mumbled and by. She quickly mumbled a by and left. A goofy smile covered their face after their interaction. It was around 5 p.m. and Rasmi was studying for her upcoming English quiz. However, studying didn't go like usual. She was distracted by someone's face. Wouldn't take a genius to guess who face that would be. बेटा ये लो कुछ खा लो, Rasmi's mom said as she entered the room holding a tray full of snacks. Rasmi took the tray and smiled, looking at the glass of nimbu pani, lemon, and plates of mixture her mother had bought for her. Here, have something. Thank you, Mama. ये कार्य तो हो गया और तो 28 मिनट ही हुआ. Rasmi took the food and placed it on her table. She drank the juice and ate some mixture with it. How are you studying going? Her mother asked. Good, Rasmi replied, picking up the pen which Ave have given her on the pen which she gave it to him, which he returned. In other words, her pen which she lended to Ave. I wondered what he likes to eat, she mumbled, looking at the plate of mixture placed in front of her. Okay, I have officially lost my mind. I'm gonna stop thinking about him and focus on math. Yes, math. She made weird face and ground while taking to herself in her mind. Her mother gave her a concerned look and left the room. Is he good at math? She shook her head. She shook, shook, shook her head, trying to get together of him out on her mind. Nonetheless, they could hear mind again, couldn't hear, couldn't her mind again on time. Just like that, one thing led to another, and no, she was peacefully lying on her bed with an occupied mind. Chapter 3, Memory that were made. Memories that were made. Once the bell rang up for lunch, the four of them quickly made their way to their usual spots. They all have a test today, and they decided that they won't fool around, but actually study for it. Rasmi and Abhay have a maths test right after lunch, while Meera and Aditya have their test in period 6. Since they have the same teacher for math, they have the same test. Guess we are here. चलो पढ़ाई करते हैं. I need to get at least 90% in the test. Rasmi announced opinion opening her textbook and flipping to page 60. और हम फेल होना है ना, और हमें फेल होना है, राइट? अभय यांग्ड, tucking a seat next to Rasmi. पढ़ लो guys. Everyone started to focus on studying while eating their lunch here and there. These past few months, the four of them have grown closer to each other. They all are comfortable with one another and hang out during lunch almost every day. Ava and Rasmi have developed a unique bond too. Rasmi gives him her pens and notes whenever he doesn't have them. Meanwhile, Ava doesn't leave a chance to tease Rasmi and flirt with her. At this point, it's obvious even to other that they both like each other, but neither of them make a move. As for Meera and Aditya, she always bring extra food for him. Her mother started to question why she was bringing so much food every day. Meera would always use Rasmi as an excuse, saying she is starting to get really hungry and I feel bad for her. Aditya, in return, would eat it all. Rasmi, I don't understand how to find the author ORTH Ortho Center. Explain this to me. Abhay asked Rasmi, poking her shoulder. Rasmi gave him an annoyed look. It's so easy. Okay, so Rasmi tried to explain to Abhay about it. Oh my god, how do you do this? Abhay gasped. His eye winked in amazement. Do what? Rasmi innocently asked. Explain the most complicated topic in the easiest way possible, Abhay replied. Rasmi smiled in response. How did the test go, Abhi? Rasmi questioned. First thing after the bell rang. Her classmates already packed their stuff and some ran out to catch their school bus. Rasmi didn't have to take the bus home since she lived nearby. It wasn't okay. At least I know I got the ortho center questions correct. Thank to you, Abhi Victor, as he stuffed his book in his red backpack. You don't need to thank me, she blushed. Oh, there you guess are. How was the test? Aditya entered their classroom with Meera reading a book behind him. It was easy, Rasmi flex smicking. खांसी आ गया था भाई. Oh, there you guess are. It was easy, Rasmi flags cemetery. Me and Mira were thinking about buying ourselves some ice gola. Can you guys come along? Please, Aditya begged, holding Abhay's arms and swinging it back and forth. Bhai, if you will pay, I'll come every day. If I have to, Abhay remarked. Haha, you wish. बहुत, बट आज तुम्हें लकी दिन नहीं है, तुम्हारा लकी दिन नहीं है, क्योंकि आज का ट्रेट मेरे है. Considered yourself lucky. किस किस खुशी में रश्मि giggled, walking over to Mira and picking at her book. What's the special occasion? I'm confident that I'd I did very well in the test. Aditya wiggled his eyebrow and begged in glory. ये पक्का चीटिंग करके आया है. Abhay rolled his eyes, making his way to the door. He for sure came here after cheating on the test. अबे चुप, तुम्हारे जैसा नहीं हूँ मैं. पकड़ा पढ़ के आया था मैं. आदित्य proclaimed. Shut up, unlike you, I actually studied. मेरे आदित्य का क्या हुआ है? तुम मेरी आदित्य नहीं हो सकते. अभी exclaimed domestically. Exclaimed, what happened to my Aditya? You want my Aditya? Can you guess? Can you guys guess? Guess. Guys को guess. वाह. My English is so dumb bro, that when I say guess, it's guess. Can you guys shut up? We have to go home too, so let hurry up. Mira demanded, final closing her book. Of course, chalo chalo. The four of them made their way out of the classroom, giggling and lunching. I want cola, Fabbert. Mira exclaimed in his midset of all this noise around. Mira tried something else. You always take the one. Rasmi sided over, ordering herself a khatta flavored gola. No, I can never ditch the cola flavor gola. It's my first love, Mira announced. Yeah, Aditi questioned, giving Mira the are you serious? Look. What? They all got their ice gola and sat down on the bench near the stall. Since the stall was near their school, there were many students around at this time of the day. The pen puri, pen puri, the pen puri. The pani puri stall was the most popular among the students. Chalo bhai, see you on Monday. Aditya smiled. Aditya smiled, getting on a rickshaw, and moving farther away into the traffic. Mira, Abhay, and Rasmi all lived in the same society, so they always walked home. Rasmi lived in Block C, Abhay lived in Block D, and Mira lived in Block A. As they were making their way back home, A rose plant caught Abhay's eyes, and he quickly went to pick one up. Her here, Rasmi felt something that Rasmi felt something tap her shoulder. She turned around, and it was Abhay holding out a beautiful rose with a big smile on his face. For me, Rasmi blushed, taken aback by his gesture. You, of course. Who else? He laughed slyly, without saying anything. Rasmi slowly took the rose out of his hand and turned around to hide her face. Where is mine? Mira questioned with a sly expression on her face. Go ask your Aditya, whispered, walking away from the two. Oh, oh, जूलियट जूलियट इतना भी गेस नहीं करने का. मैं ऐसे ही पूछा मैंने ऐसे ही पूछा. मीरा chuckled, catching up to her. Oh, Juliet, don't be so mad. I was just teasing. Bye, guys. Remember to do your homeworks, okay? Cause I'm not giving you any more answers. Rasmi exclaimed, flashing, flicking both of their foreheads. हाँ ठीक है, चल बाय. मीरा giggled and left for her building. All right then, bye. मैं भी चलता हूँ. Bye, रश्मि, Avi said, putting his hand in his pant pocket and walking away. Rasmi was quite happy today. Before, it was always just her and Meera going on and on. However, no, since the two boys arrived, it has been so lovely. Now we are on chapter 4, and I think we only left one more chapter. So I think we have to finish our this novel today at least, so that we can pick another one on tomorrow. It was lunch, and Aditya was munching on food as well, always. Nothing new, nothing great. It was only Aditya and Meera at lunch today because Abhay and Rasmi were forced by the English teacher to help her out. That was the consequences for not completing her homework. Well, it was just Abhi who didn't do this his homework, but Rasmi, being the nice person she is, dedicated to stay back and help out. Yeah, your mom is so such a good cook. Eating your lunch make me feel like I'm dining in a five-star restaurant. Aditya boasted. I know, right? Now imagine if my mom is such a good cook. How well can I cook? Mira smirked, leaning closer to Aditya. I for sure know that before I eat your food, I will already be throwing up. Leaning back in Aditya and Mira were almost an and apart from smoking. Haha, very funny. Now I am sure that the next time I'll be feeding you food, I am going to make so to mix poison in it. Mira moved away with a silly expression. Aditya just rolled his eyes and her her and continued eating his five-star food. Anyway, I think Abhay should ask Rasmi out. Mira started making Aditya chalk on his food. I know you agree with me, she added, giving his massages mischief side eyes. Do you even know that what you were saying? Fishing his food up, he closed the tiffin lid and put it in Mira's lunch bag. Come on, it's so obvious that they like each other. Esme is literally willing not to eat just to accompany him. Mira affirmed, standing, starting up with her hand on her lip, watching her. Aditya, what I just missed. Mira affirmed, standing standing straight up with her hands and her lips and on her hips, standing. Come on, it's so obvious that they like each other. Rasmi is literally willing to not eat just to accompany him. Mira affirmed, standing. Mira affirmed, standing straight up with her hands on her hip, watching her. Aditya also stood up. Okay. Turning around, she held Aditya by his shoulder with a determined expression. Okay, now understand. Let's talk to Abhay about what after school she announced. What I mean, how will we get Rasmi to go away? They are in the same class. Aditya expressed, crossing his hand. Okay, the plan is simple. You talk to Abhay and I'll drag home. Rasmi home. Mira said, mimicking Adit's pose. Please tell me you can do that. Aditya pondered on the request but ended up nodding in response. On the other hand, Rasmi and Abhay were arranging their books in her library while Abhay was stealing small glances at Rasmi here and there. You don't know that you don't need to help me, right? I can do this. I'm gonna do this, Abhay told Rasmi. He felt guilty about Rasmi staying back because of him. Though Rasmi didn't mind staying back even a bit. I know, but this is fun, Rasmi said, and then add a note really, which was just audible for her. Thank you, Rasmi. Smiling shyly, Abhay went back to arranging the books. Of course, you don't need to thank me, but please do your homework next time, Rasmi advised. Abhay took a quick peek at her and noticed how focused she was on arranging these books. बचपन का प्यार है ये. I know I did all my homeworks, but somehow forget about this one. Abhay pouted. Rasmi took a quick glance at him and laughed to herself. You should start being more organized, Rasmi said. I try to. Abhay sighed, sketching the back for his neck nervously, noting that Rashmi had a great idea pop up in her tiny head. This is how the duo spent their whole lunch, arranging the books, talking to each other, stealing glances of each other, and a free eye contact here and there. Start more organized, as we said. I try to avoid sight, scratching the back of her neck nervously, not noticing that Rasmi had a great idea pop up in her teeny head. लड़की का दिमाग छोटा होता है ना इसलिए. This is how the two spent their whole lunch, arranging the books, talking to each other, stealing glances of each other, and a few eye contact here and there. According to Mira and Aditya plan, Mira dragged Rasmi home with her right after school ended. Rasmi was a bit suspicious of Mira's behavior and mostly upset that she couldn't say bye to Abhi. Her heart ached at the thought of never having a chance to say goodbye to him. On the way back home, Rasmi made a quick stop at a stereos shop along with Mira to buy a few supplies. Rasmi listened. Mira started. Rasmi just hummed to let her know that she was listening. You like Abhay, don't you? Rasmi, who was busy looking through the stacks of notebook, stopped in her track, taken aback by what her friend just said. You like Aditya, don't you? Rasmi replied, not ready to give up yet. What? Mira yelled, quickly darting her eyes all over the store. Noticing this, Rasmi chuckled to herself. No, I have to encourage her and spill her feelings about Abhay. Don't give up. Thinking this, Mira confidently continued on with the task at hand. What would you do if he asked you out? Mira questioned, following her friend. I doubt that will ever happen. Rasmi replied, acting unbothered to the bothering question. Oh, so you do like him? Mira smiled to herself. You still didn't answer my question, Mira. Rasmi insisted, getting a bit annoyed. I will, but one if you answer my question. I asked first. Mira declared. Fine then. I already know your answer. And no, Rasmi gave up on their conversation. Okay then, I know what you are going to say too. Pouting Mira stopped her feet and focused on some other stationery, leaving Rasmi alone. Signing, Rasmi bent down to grab a notebook and pull her friend to do the billing and go home. अभय मीरा भाई अभय मेरा भाई आदित्य रोड ब्रो अभय my bro. What is Aditya? Adi? Abhay asked, trying to put on an annoyed expression. I have a question. A really important question, Aditya whispered, walking closer to Abhay. What is it? Abhay asked, sternly interested in his friend's stamina. Statement. You like Rasmi, yes or no? Abhay whispered, learning even closer into Abhay. Yes, so? Well, that was easy to get out of you. Another question. Encouraged by his friend straightforward response, Aditya risked asking another risky question. And that is, Abhay trickled out, still suspicious about Aditya's changing behavior. When you were going to ask Rasmi out, for a moment there was completely silence between the two boys. पागल हो गया क्या? I don't think I should to do that. What if Rasmi doesn't like me? Abhay nervously said, looking down at the floor. Are you out of mind? Out of your mind? Andha ho kya? Everyone knows that Rasmi like you and you like her. Aditya interested. I will blind. Everyone knows that Rasmi likes you and you likes her. फिर भी यार, what if she say no? Still, dude, what if she say no? She won't. Please. Plus, if you don't ask her out now, what if someone else does? Then, like the movies, तुम्हारा हाथ से चली जाएगी. Aditya exclaimed dramatically and exactly things. Then, like the movies, she will go away from your hands. Point to have I. Abhi nodded, thanking to himself. You have a point. Okay, then I'll go home and tell Mira that missing mission is accomplished. Aditya giggled and walked towards the school bus. मेरा हुआ. Chatting up. Abhay nodded. Aditya's shoulder giving him a silent expression. Chup. Aditya blushed and getting on the school bus. Abhay surged and waved to his friend as the school bus left. Then he started to make his way back home, deeply thinking about today's event. Currently, at 6 p.m. in the evening, Aditya and Meera are having a very important call. So, TSK, what did he say, Adi? Meera questioned. He said that he liked her, but he is too afraid to ask her about. Aditya replied, making doodles on his maths homework. Rashmi don't say it. She did say it herself, but I guess she like him too. Mira searched, leaning back on her pink and blue spine chair. Just then her mother came in to give her a glass of orange juice. Oh, what I made so that he might, Mira launched, nervously cutting Aditya off. Rasmi, have you done questions yet already? I'm still trying to get over the question 4. This is so confusing, yaar. Mira said, quickly trying to cover herself up from her mom. Her mom gave her the side eyes and chuckled. क्लास में ध्यान दोगे तो इतना हार्ड नहीं होता. Her mom said, spelling Mira softly on her head. If you would have paid attention in class, you wouldn't have found this hard. मम्मी, मैं ध्यान देती हूँ, लेकिन टीचर हमें ठीक से नहीं पढ़ाते. मीरा वेंडेड. हाँ हाँ, लास्ट में टीचर को ही दोष दे. Saying that, her mother walked out. Ha ha ha. What was that? Aditya laughed. Shut up. Also, what we were you saying? Mira exclaimed, embarrassed that he had to hear all that. Yes, so I encouraged Abhay to ask Rasmi out. I think that dude is going to do it. Aditi responded. What? Okay, finally you did something right. Mira asked, was taken aback by Aditya's choice of action, but nonetheless, nonetheless, she was proud and happy. I always do the right thing, Aditya posted proudly. Yeah, right. तू उन दोनों के साथ है. तुम्हारा क्या? Mira said, whispering that last part. She wanted to know if Aditya liked someone too. Not that I won't bother her. At least that's what she wanted to believe. Kya, what did you say? Aditya questioned, raising one of his eyebrow. What what did you say? जो तुम सुने? Mira answered back in an attitude. What Mira didn't know was that Aditya in fact did her what she said, but chose to act dumb. What did you mean by तुम्हारा क्या? Oh my god, you are so dumb. I'm going by. Just like that, Mira cut the call without even giving it a second thought. After 2 hours of hard work, Rasmi finally finished her masterpiece. She held it up high and then hugged it closer to her. A big smile was on her face. Arey, Arey Rasmi, you haven't slept yet. Her mom suddenly opened the door and Rasmi fresh frantically hid her creation under her homework. Yes, mommy, I was sleeping, but then I remembered that at least minute that I was supposed to memorize these formulas. So I woke up, let me come up with an excuse and pretended to yawn. कोई बात नहीं, चलो आप जल्दी सो जाओ. Her mom sweetly smiled, leaving her room. Yes, good night, Rasmi said as her mom left. Then he gave her homework. Chicky said, I and went to sleep. Our last chapter, chapter 5, and we are out of time. So I think we should to complete it tomorrow. And for then, we must to wait for that particular, at least. And we have also chapter 6. So we must wait for tomorrow because in today's session it's not going to be fully completed. So we will wait for tomorrow's session. So guys, thank you for being here. Good night, and please do like, subscribe, and comment whatever you like, whatever you want to improve, and whatever you want to suggest me. It was so appreciable if you suggest me something. Now guys, it's okay, and goodbye. Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good night.